At iFiber One News Radio, and a good morning to you. I'm Jeff Slakey, and I'm happy to have in studio with me this morning a candidate for the Legislative District, the second position for the State Senate. It's Tamborine Borrelli. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on the air with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So you're running for the State Senate position in the second district here in the great state of Washington.
I am, yes.
Tell us a little bit about where that district, the geographic region of that district.
Well, you know, recently in 2010, I believe, they redistricted. It's a little early.
It is. I know what you're talking about.
Basically, a little bit of Lacey.
Yeah.
Yelm, a little bit of Rainier, McKenna,
wow,
and all the way into Ording. So you have Eatonville and Graham.
That's quite a diverse area.
It's quite a diverse area, yes.
So what got you interested in running for state senate?
Well, you know, I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular person, a small business person. That this past election cycle really just, it gave me hope that there's actually an opportunity to have a government that is of the people, by the people, but more importantly, for the people. So basically, I just kind of jumped all the way in, volunteering for the Sanders campaign.
Okay.
And I just, you know, I feel that it's important that the people are represented, and it doesn't feel like that's what's been happening.
I hear that a lot talking with folks. So you said with the Sanders campaign, have you moved and decided to endorse and vote for Hillary in the November election?
You know, actually, I'm a national delegate.
Oh, wonderful.
So I will be flying to Philly tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, very interesting. So let's focus back here on the great state of Washington. You know, some of the biggest issues that we've talked about over the years here in the state, education, by far, one of the things that everybody focuses on, the McCleary decision.
Absolutely.
Big year for that. The legislature is expected to do some work on it. What are your thoughts on the McCleary decision?
Well, first of all, I think it's a travesty that the fact that we're even at this place now, the fact that, you know, the courts had to impose that education be funded. And the thing is that if we don't address this, and it just snowballs into a bigger problem than it is now, I think that some hard decisions have to be made.
What are some of the things that you're thinking about?
Well, in regard to funding, actually, and where that funding is going to come from, I think that the corporations need to pay their fair share in taxes and take the burden off the everyday person.
What do you think of the tax structure the way we have it here in the state?
Yeah, it's one of the most regressive, actually. You know, the thing is that there are so many corporate tax loopholes that if we started there even, you know, I believe that there's plenty of money to address the situation here with McCleary. The thing is that, you know, instead of raising an excise tax and, you know, taxing you and I on the goods that we're using, let's look at those who have the money to take care of these things, the loopholes, doing a capital gains tax. I mean, there's so many areas that we have not looked into yet that I believe if we started to, then we could start actually getting somewhere.
What do your potential constituents have to say about those kind of issues, capital gains tax and stuff like that?
Well, here's the thing. You know, they understand that when you want certain things, you have to pay for certain things. It's just the way that it goes. We're not talking about raising income tax on, you know, you and I, the average daily person. We're talking about corporations that, you know, for instance, there's been billions of dollars in tax credits for huge corporations. And yes, we love the corporations to be here, but the thing is once they get those tax credits and they take their jobs to other states and out of the country, we can't have that anymore. We can't afford to do that anymore. So they have got to start paying their fair share in taxes.
Another big issue for the state is the environment and environmental health and the quality of the environment around this area. Last session, the governor, one of his ideas was a carbon tax initiative, and it got shot down. If you became a member of the state senate, how would you look at something like that?
Well, here's the thing. There's you know, I believe that there should be some penalty in regard to carbon. We have got to start making the transition away from fossil fuels into alternative energy. That's one thing I'm very excited about, really investing in a 21st century economy, the jobs that it will create. Just think about it, changing the infrastructure into alternative energy. There was a Dutch town that actually created a bike lane out of solar cells. So if we're having to address infrastructure anyway, why not incorporate alternative energy, which is the future, and it will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. I mean, you know, wind, solar, geothermal, it's just, we have so many brilliant minds here in Washington. We can address these problems with innovation and really looking to what the economy is going to be in the future, and that's going to be alternative energy. We take care of jobs and we take care of the environment simultaneously.
Tamborine Borrelli is running for the state senate in the 2nd district for the great state of Washington. Tamborine2016.com is her website that you can find more information. And so it sounds like you really did jump into this politics thing full bore. If you're going to Philadelphia tomorrow, what's it been like to lead up to that? That's a big deal.
Yeah, you know, it's really exciting because we're seeing for the first time in, I'd say, a generation or two, the excitement and passion with just your everyday person wanting to actually stand up and make a difference in regard to not just being apathetic, awakening from that apathetic sleep and saying, you know what, if I want something done and I want something different, let me stand up and do something about it. So I'm just representative of millions of people who are actually in that state of mind and ready to become a part of what government is, as it should be. You know, it should be of us, for us.
Finally, I just want to ask you a little bit more about the kind of transparency of government,
Yes.
the ways that people are held accountable. That's one of your tabs on the issues you have on your website. So talk to us about your idea of a good sense of accountability for the state.
Well, here's the thing. Transparency is really important to me in almost everything. That's one of the biggest problems as far as like money in politics, for instance. I believe with all of my heart we have got to get money out of politics, because how can an elected official represent you and the things that you care about if they are receiving obscene amounts of money to represent someone else and their interests? So I believe that elections should be transparent. Where money comes from should be transparent, because, you know, if it's not, then we are stuck with a system that is really for the interests of those who have the most zeros in their bank account, and that's not most of us. Most of us are just trying to eke a living, and the thing is, the tide has to turn, and the time's now to do that. You have got your ballots in your hand. They should be. They're probably right there on your countertop. Make sure you look through the voter's guide, and you can cast your vote for Tamborine Borrelli in the 2nd district. She is running for state senate with a Democrat preference. Is that correct? Yeah. And you can also find out more on her at tamborine2016.com, also on Facebook and Twitter. It was really nice getting a chance to talk with you this morning. Jeff, thank you so much. Have a great time in Philadelphia, and we look forward to seeing you there on the TV. Thank you. Very good. It is 7:59 at iFiber One News Radio, and we've got ABC News coming up at 8 o'clock.
Tom Hartman is live and